They walk past you without noticing. They speak over you like your voice doesn't matter. You sit in a room full of people, yet feel like a shadow. Invisible, unseen, misunderstood. But there's a voice that cuts through that silence. A presence that enters the empty spaces where no one else reaches. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. He knows the version of you that no one else has ever seen. The one who hides behind the smile. The one who stays quiet to avoid being judged. The one who cries at night but wipes the tears before the world wakes up. The Lord sees that version, and He loves you just the same. You're not just a name in a church database. You're not just a number in the system. You're not just someone who blends into the background. To Him, you are fully known. Psalm 139 isn't just poetry, it's prophecy. It's a declaration that you are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not alone. You know when I sit and when I rise. That means the God of the universe tracks even the tiniest movements of your life. He notices when your shoulders slump under the pressure. He knows when you force yourself out of bed with silent exhaustion. He sees you driving to work, wondering if any of it matters. He sees the glances you give the world, hoping someone would just ask, "Are you okay?" And even when they don't ask, God already knows the answer. You perceive my thoughts from afar. Yes, even when you can't put it into words. Even when all you can do is sigh. Even when your heart says things your lips never dare to speak. He understands. David wrote those words not as a king, but as a son, a child who longed to be known. And in that moment, he wasn't holding a crown, he was clinging to comfort. Because sometimes being known is more healing than being helped. Psalm 56 verse 8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle." Every tear that never touched your pillow, He caught it. Every ache you couldn't explain, He felt it. Every moment you were misunderstood, He stood beside you. In Genesis 16 verse 13, Hagar gives God a name no one had used before. El Roi, the God who sees me. She was abandoned, cast out, pregnant, and hopeless. But even in the wilderness, she was seen. Not by a person, but by the only one who mattered. That same God sees you now. In the meetings where your ideas are ignored. In the family where your heart goes unseen. In the crowd where you feel like the only one who's drowning. He sees you. Not the filtered version. Not the version you try to fix for others. But the raw, undone, tired, anxious you. And His eyes don't turn away. His love doesn't shrink back. His arms don't fold in disapproval. Isaiah 49 verse 16 says, "See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands." Your existence is not just acknowledged, it's etched into eternity. You are not a burden. You are not too much. You are not invisible to heaven. You may be unseen by them, but you are deeply known by Him. Sometimes, we chase validation in places that were never meant to recognize us. We adjust our voice, dim our light, shrink our presence, all to be accepted by people who still won't see us. And slowly we begin to believe the lie. If they don't see me, maybe I don't matter. But the truth is, your value was never tied to their attention. You were formed in secret by the one who sees in secret. Psalm 139 verses 13 to 14 reminds us, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Before a friend betrayed you, before your voice was silenced, before the rejection letter, you were already seen, already chosen, already set apart. And while the world's love is performance-based, God's love is presence-based. He doesn't love you for what you offer. He loves you because of who He is. In John 10 verse 14, Jesus says, "I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and my sheep know me." To be known by God isn't just about being observed. It's about being understood. It's about having someone who sees the why behind your actions, the pain behind your patterns, the story behind your silence. He knows what triggers your tears. He knows why some days you overreact, and others you go numb. He knows the memory that still lingers, the voice that echoes from your past, the battle between faith and fear that rages every morning. And he doesn't walk away. He leans in. In 1 Samuel 16, the prophet Samuel is sent to anoint the next king. He sees Eliab tall, strong, king-like, and thinks, surely this is the one. But God says no. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16 verse 7. That's still true today. They may have overlooked you for the promotion. They may have picked someone else. They may not respond to your messages. But God? He never scrolls past your heart. He pauses for it. In Luke 8, a woman who had been bleeding for 12 years reaches through a crowd to touch Jesus. No one notices her. She doesn't even speak. But Jesus stops everything and says, "Who touched me?" She tried to go unnoticed. But heaven noticed her faith. And in front of everyone, Jesus calls her daughter. Firm. See. Feel. That same Jesus is still stopping for people who feel unseen. Still turning to those who hide in shame. Still calling daughter, son, over those who thought they were too broken to belong. You don't need to scream to get God's attention. You don't need to be louder, stronger, or more impressive. You already have his heart. Zechariah 2 verse 8 says, "Whoever touches you touches the apple of his eye." You are precious. You are protected. You are pursued. Even when no one sees the pain you carry, God sees. Even when no one understands the weight you bear, God knows. Even when your name is forgotten by people, it's written on his heart. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. Isaiah 49 verses 15 to 16 brings a divine assurance. Can a mother forget the baby at her breast, and have no compassion on the child she has borne? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. This is not poetry. This is covenant. Your name is not scribbled in pencil. It's carved, eternal, on the hands that were pierced for you. And in those moments when you sit alone, wondering if your prayers hit the ceiling, when your voice trembles from holding back tears you've buried for years, when you lie in bed staring at the ceiling, begging God for just one sign that he's near, this is your sign. He has always been near. Psalm 34 verse 18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." So maybe today the most spiritual thing you can do is rest. Rest in the truth that you don't have to be seen by the crowd to be noticed by the King. You don't have to be heard by others to be known by God. Because while the world celebrates what's visible, God works in the invisible. He sees your tears. He counts your steps. He bottles your pain, Psalm 56 verse 8. And the pain that tried to silence you? It's the very thing he's using to shape your purpose. The rejection that wounded you? It was redirection toward your calling. The loneliness that broke you? It's becoming the soil where your most intimate encounters with God will grow. So don't give up. Don't believe the lie that no one cares. Don't assume God has gone silent. He's closer than your breath. He's whispering in the stillness. He's healing what no one else even sees. Right now, take a deep breath. Feel the weight begin to lift. The God who sees is holding you. The God who knows is healing you. The God who formed you is calling you back into his presence. Father, I come before you on behalf of every soul who feels invisible. For every daughter who has been overlooked. For every son who has been silenced. For every heart that carries hidden pain. Wrap them now in your perfect love. Let them feel what words can't express. Let your spirit rise within them like a river of peace. Silence every voice of shame. Shatter every lie that says they are not enough. And remind them deep in their bones that you see, you know, and you're not going anywhere. From this day forward, may they walk in confidence, not in who they are, but in whose they are. May they rest in the truth. They are fully seen, fully loved, fully known. If this word touched your heart today, say it out loud. God sees me. Say it again. Even when no one else does, God sees me. Let that truth echo in your soul. You are not invisible. You are seen by the one who matters most.